Okay, well, I'm here with the beautiful cast from this wonderful new Aussie flick called Spin Out, which I saw last night, guys. And my God, Luke, Lincoln, sorry, darling, Lincoln, Travis, Xavier, and Morgan. Welcome and congratulations on your new film.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to start with, you know, from the beginning. You obviously all came together and got casted in this. And how was the impact of meeting the director-writer, Tim Ferguson?
It was cool, you know, he's Australian comedy gold, he's a legend, so sort of getting to work with, or meeting him was really cool because he's such a champion. And then, he's just a really easygoing dude. He, you know, he's been working on this for years, and so seeing his baby come alive, he was just full of enthusiasm and excitement. So, I guess, you know,
pretty nerve-wracking auditioning for Tim Ferguson.
Yeah.
Because I've done a lot of...
How so?
Because, you know, a comedy legend, and you're like, I'm going to do some comedy in front of a comedy legend. Yeah. And I've done a lot of war stuff, so it's been pretty serious. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm funny.
So I didn't have that because I self-taped.
Yeah.
So I met Tim and Mark over Skype meetings, but I never actually had them, like, telling me. I mean, I got notes from them, but I never actually had them telling me.
It's kind of comforting, I think, in a way too, isn't it? Like you know you're in safe hands when you're working with someone like that, and Mark Gracie too. Like they sort of know comedy, and they have seemingly an inbuilt detector for what is and what isn't funny, and so to have two referees like that there to sort of you know,
push in the right direction.
Through the process was very safe.
Xavier, you're a natural at comedy. You know, you worked with Stephen Elliott.
Yes, that's right. Stephen,
Yeah, which that was a classic film that you did.
What was?
A few best men.
A few best men.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was just hilarious funny, and that role was just beautiful. You know,
well, I think it helps when you're surrounded by people who are really, really great at comedy, because you sort of hope that skill set sort of rubs off on you in some way. But I usually end up playing the straight man, and the biggest challenge for me is just keeping a straight face and not ruining the scenes by laughing, you know.
Well, that brings me to, and also I've got to congratulate you because you just mentioned, you know, comedy was hard to audition. You were amazing.
Thank you.
You were.
You really stole some scenes there, and you know, you had some of the most funny scenes too. Which was, you know, superb. But you know, how was it? You know, first, you know, that there's a party scene in that film. How long did that take to, you know, do, and how much party was in there?
It felt like a never-ending party, isn't it?
Yeah. A very hot room, that party scene. It was
It was a massive chunk of the film, so
yeah.
It was a good.
It didn't really feel like a party though, because it wasn't. You know, there's not always music. I mean, I think when we danced, we had some music to dance.
Did you get to dance to music?
Well, it's always funny when you do scenes like that, because party scenes and scenes where they're at a disco or whatever it is, because they can't actually play music because it interrupts with the sound. So you're usually dancing, pretending to
music,
to this music. So it's devastatingly awkward.
They played
and you're sort of talking over the top of, you know.
And you had to put on your loud voice.
Yeah.
Talking at a party voice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So tell me, in terms of the racing the cars with you two, how long did it take you to, you know, did you have to, you know, go to racing school for a while?
Yeah.
They were naturals.
Natural.
No, it gave me the keys and said, do it. No,
we were taught by a stunt coordinator, and at a stunt school we went to
they didn't. You what, 4 days? Like, it's pretty impressive.
Probably.
Well, I think any time we had a spare moment, we
were out there.
We're kind of working on these sequences, and because they're kind of complicated choreography, the cars are sort of spinning around each other, and
knowing what way both of us were turning at the you know, opposite corners. And
did you do all the driving, or was
we did a fair share of it?
Yeah.
I mean,
we had to know every routine so that you know,
they
I
could
guess
get the shots
it always works better if it's us and they're doing it. I guess.
Well done. 'Cause,
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Because that you know, especially in certain parts, we won't do any spoilers here, but even though it's coming out tomorrow, Thursday. But it's there's some great obviously scenes in terms of how you do your spin outs and things like that. So what is it? The Lazy Susan?
The Lazy Susan. Yeah.
So, Lincoln, tell me about your part because that was really cool. You were like
he's just this.
You were just the
just a
stump
good looking
there, weren't
rooster.
you?
What's it like to strap on the sandals?
Yeah, those sandals were really.
Look, I didn't mind my attire. It was very sexy. I think every man's going to have a pair of mandals in their cupboard after
Mandals?
setting to this.
He's
Yeah,
going for a Mandel sponsorship.
yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, you could be the new brand of sandals.
Maybe
now.
The new
Burple
Mandel
sponsors
man.
Yeah.
Nick the Honey Badger's got the budgie smugglers or whatever. He's got the undies, and I'll have the mandals. That'd be the way to go. No, it was cool. It was fun. Like he came in. He was a fish out of water. He came in from the city, and he's persistent. He's enthusiastic. He doesn't really care as long as he gets lucky at the end of the night. So he goes for top shelf.
Thank you.
Once top shelf gives him the no deal, he just sort of goes, well, I don't really care. I'm just going to go for whatever will accept me. And then so it was a fun role because he has no shame in what he says, and he's just trying to make the best of a situation he doesn't really understand.
But so likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a likable little.
You do make him likable, even though he's kind of
It's really
very
conflicting.
slick.
Like this is actually really horrible, but I still really like it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I loved all the I love the scene I got to do with Xavier. It was our where we're sitting there and he's telling me about
It's like a culture clash, isn't it?
It really was,
Country kid and a city slicker.
Yeah, it's two sides of the coin there, wasn't it? And they just it was just such a fun scene. Because it was that awkwardness of trying to understand each other. It was really trying to figure it all out while being on the prowl at the same time. He's got his motives, I've got mine. It was a lot of fun. I was stoked.
Fantastic. And Morgan, you had kissing scenes with both these hunks here.
Dream come true.
How much
Dream come true, yeah.
Now, I won't say who was the best kisser, but how many practice takes did you have to do in those?
I stuffed up a lot.
Did you?
Just one more for me. Just one for
I
me.
think Lincoln
One more,
purposely
guys.
stuffed up a few times.
We did it. We just
You
one
or-
take
We
wonders.
just want to take them.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it was, it was all very professional and
Yeah,
they're,
no,
they're,
it
lov-
was-
they're lovely guys. So it's always a little, it's always going to be awkward with a room full of people, watching you just make out with someone. But
Scenes like that though, it's only as awkward as the person you're opposite.
Yeah,
So
and the
if
fact that we
it's
all
professional and this and that, then it's just kind of everything else will just fade away into the distance. And
Yeah.
Morgan was great.
great. Yeah, no, I mean it's just great that we all got along. So it wasn't it wasn't a problem.
Very, very, very
I just realised you guys are all in blue.
With
Like,
it-
did you coordinate?
Yeah, we
this?
It's like we called each other
You
before.
changed the subject.
Yes.
No, I just
Yes, we were on the subject of your licking nibbly.
Oh,
and then
licking nibbly, yeah.
She changed
Well,
it.
you all know I'm a great kisser, guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just to ask you.
Just ask.
And obviously, I've just believed that Xavier and yourself are in another film.
Oh yeah, we
Coming
just
up.
did another film
Couple
in
of months
Adelaide.
ago, yeah.
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 Which, can you tell us anything about that one?
Oh, it's a very different film to Spin Out. It's sort of like a psychological thriller, and it's called Bad Blood. So, yeah.
It's in post at the moment, so we haven't even really seen it. So
Okay.
but yeah, that just finished, and hopefully it'll come out. I don't know, next year
Brilliant.
sometime. Yeah.
And, obviously, have you all worked before together?
I never
Thank
met
you.
Morgan before the production.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well, you
did
guys are all.
Gallipoli together a few years ago,
Yeah, great film.
and then you guys worked together, didn't you?
I was with Xavier on the same set as Xavier on Bait.
That's
And
right.
And
so
actually, Morgs and I did a film years and years ago, but we weren't in the same. It didn't have any
I had a
scenes together.
tiny. Yeah.
September. Yeah.
September. Yeah.
So everyone's kind of got that very
We're all-
2 degrees of separation. If we
Yeah.
hadn't, yeah.
Which all made it really great to come together on this film. And and obviously there was 3 weeks shoot.
No, it was
I
long.
think it was
Four or 5 weeks.
Yeah. I
4
think
weeks and
and a
then
rehearsal.
maybe like 5 days of pre-production, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, and
It's a
we,
very quick shoot.
That's a quick show.
and I think
Yeah.
because a lot of
Isn't
we were sort of at this Emerald Bank, which is sort of like a recreation. I don't know what you'd call it. We kind of had like I think Andy, the second head day, was calling it like Aussie wood or something. We had set,
like
you know, we had the wool shed here, we had the ute paddock, you know,
Like
100
it's like
meters
a
away.
makeshift studio.
Yeah, so we kind of were always at this one location, apart from Dookie, which was the quarry, that beautiful big quarry that you see.
Yeah, it's gorgeous there.
So I think even though it was, I don't know, we kind of could do things a little easier rather than moving around the whole time. But yeah, it was fun being in the same place every day.
Yeah, and they put us all in the
Seeing-
same.
Yeah.
We all stayed in the same place, so we just
Same trailer.
same.
Same trailer,
Same
yeah, same
bed.
room,
Same.
Every-
all-
same
cast,
on
it was
budget. No,
fun-
it's-
fun.
Yeah, so we got very close.
Very. It was just cold
Night
nights, really.
travellers.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Alright, Lincoln.
Night, Dave.
Oh, mate.
Night, baby. Night, Morgan.
Morgan.
Oh, that's
Hold me.
great. Do you want? Is there, you know, anything out of this film that you want to share that was really quite special in terms of you all filming it? 'Cause I know that it was
Friendships.
I was actually going to say that on a more serious note, but yeah, you can kiss my ass now.
Also, Briggs is in the film, and Briggs is like a notorious hip hop artist.
From Shepperton.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so he's really cool guy, and
Yeah.
so he kind of lends the film some
well, the
street cred.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
score on this film.
Yeah.
So I think that
Taylor
just in
Henderson.
general, the community that formed was really it was really special.
I think for Tim and Edwina especially, and Mark, but they'd been working on it for so long that I think when we wrapped, it was kind of like just sort of a set. I think Tim was quite overwhelmed. Like it was sort of, you know, he'd been working on it for so long, and I think everyone was really proud of making like a film that's loving and it's happy and it's kind of, I don't know, it's nice to make a happy film.
It's a feel-good film.
It is a feel-good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It has the sort of the emotional ups and downs, but it doesn't delve too deeply into the downs, and then it gets brought back up by a really funny situation that's never overplayed, and or it's never, they don't overstay their welcome, the gags, and so it's you go in there and you laugh, you feel, and these guys do such a fantastic job with the emotional highs and lows, that with the friendship and with the relationships and all that kind of stuff. So it's a movie, it's a good movie that everyone can go see, and I know that it sounds like a cliche thing to say, especially when promoting a film, but it is a film that is there for everyone to go and have a laugh at and just enjoy, which is why you want to go to the movie.
My dad had a cry at Sydney screening. Like had like tears running down his face.
Yeah, that's just sort of the, Tim Ferguson's got such a unique sensibility, and the gags come really quickly, and so it's not often that films come out in Australia that have that kind of energy. So
Yeah, exactly. Well, congratulations, guys. I think it's an absolutely lovely film. I think it's delightful to have you all to speak with here today, and I wish you all the best. And just on a final note, what are you doing next, Lincoln? Is there anything that you can say where you're going to next, or?
For me, I'm just going back to the audition circuit. When you finish one job, you kind of go, what's next?
Yeah.
All right, well, I just got to start putting away all over again.
Yeah.
I'm doing a bit of a Fringe festival in Sydney. It's part of the Sydney Fringe, the end of September.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
yeah, we've got Bad Blood coming
Bad
out
Blood.
sometime next
So
year.
you'll be on the junket circuit again soon.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I'm doing ADR for that tomorrow, actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you, congratulations, and it's just a pleasure to be able to speak with you all today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of Hush Hush Biz.
Thank you.
Cheers.